Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? Firstly, sorry I'm late. Um, I had to go and see a client. What a beautiful house I just saw. I had to be there with one of the colleagues to evaluate that property. So yeah, we took quite some time. We had meeting on afternoon, and it was supposed to happen or take place sometime last week. So it had to be postponed for today. And unfortunately, the meetings afternoon during the week. Wait again. Yeah, no, yeah, seriously. Sorry for being late. Yeah, it was issues, some severity and so forth. And ha ke fihla hone yaanong, I actually have tried to what actually wasted more of my time, almost 15 minutes kaofela ke issue ya. I've had quite a number of people complaining, saying they don't seem to get access to Teams. If I can have a link, yeah, Zoom, it will be better. So ke yona ntho e nsenyeditseng nako. I've been trying to log in ka Zoom, so mara ke a bona e tlo batla gore ke etse di-preparations nako e sa le teng. So yeah, that was one of the challenges right now. But anyway, I will do that tomorrow. So as from tomorrow, I'm going to send you guys two links, Zoom link and the Teams. All right, so that people that cannot be able to use Teams, if they are able to use Zoom, at least they will be able to join in as well. All right, so that will happen as from tomorrow. Ladies and gents, you are welcome to Maruping Properties Real Estate Free Training. And we started with the training a few weeks ago, and this week is actually our last week of training. So people always text me aside or inbox me and say they can't wait to start working. But ladies and gents, I have informed you that if you are ready to work, nothing is honestly stopping you to work. Just start. At least so far since we have started, I'm happy. Information that you have, you can honestly be able to do something ebonahalang. Of course, you still have a support. You still have us on your side to be able to guide you through the process of what to do and how to go about everything. All right. Yesterday, we ended up on rule number 4 on option 2. We were talking about making the appointment or process of making an appointment, all the options that you have in terms of making an appointment. Let me not waste any more time. I will actually proceed from where we stopped yesterday, and then at least we now have videos where you can be able to catch up if maybe you have missed something. Ladies and gents, I need to get water. Just a second. Okay, all right. Let's start with presenting the offer. Presenting the offer, giving the offer, or handing over OTP to the seller. All right. Okay, setting the stage. Never present your offer until the physical and human conditions are right. Set the stage for success and control the situation. So this is you setting up the stage. All right. Let me repeat this. Never present your offer until represent offer to who? To the seller. Okay. Until the physical and human conditions are right. Set the stage for success and control the situation. We already have spoken about how to um, take control of the situation when you are with your clients. Okay. The sitting dance. If you are presenting an offer to a husband and wife, ensure you are not seated between the husband and wife. Make sure you can see both of them at the same time to have control over what you are doing. So, ladies and gents, when you are going to present an offer, this is important. Okay, this is very important. When you go and present your OTP to your client, that is the seller, and it is husband and wife. So, what you going to do, please ensure that you don't sit between both of them. Okay. Um, if you are sitting around the table, ensure that you sit on the side where you're going to be able to see both of them. Okay. If maybe you are sitting on the couches, let them sit on let them sit on the other side of, let's say, if maybe they have two or three couches in the house, sit on the opposite side where you can be able to see both of them face to face. Don't sit between both of them, because when you talk to them, it's either you will look at the wife or you will turn and look at the husband. So it's important when you present offer to purchase OTP, you look straight into their face so that you will be able to see how do they feel after presenting the offer or telling them the amount. The facial expression, yabona, that is the most important thing. Ladies and gents, please remember that. Okay. If you are caught in sitting sandwich between them, only able to see one or the other, get up immediately. Request that the offer is reviewed together where you are able to address both of them. Do this by either swapping chairs with one of them or moving to the dining room. Okay. Sit the seller side by side, okay, with you positioned opposite them or at 90 degrees to them. This places two things in your favor. Number one, you are able to watch both of them. Number two, they are both able to watch you. Okay. The sitting of sellers and the atmosphere in which you present your offer is controllable factor. Take control. Eliminate noise and distraction. You cannot present offer while the husband is watching a sports program. Advise him that you will return when the program is over. Sellers can only concentrate on one thing at a time, and your offer is important enough for your purchaser to deserve a fair hearing. Most sellers will not allow you to leave without knowing the content of the offer. So, ladies and gents, like I mean, that is a self-explanatory, right? You need to ensure that you face both of the wife and the husband. They must sit on the opposite side. You sit the other side so that they can be able to see you. You can be able to see them. All right. So, if it is not possible. You see the importance of facing them face to face or looking at them straight into their face. If it is not happening, maybe there is something that is going to distract you, or maybe the husband is busy or the wife is busy with something else. Then rather say, may I please come after the match, after the sports, or can I come maybe tomorrow or whenever? When they will be in a position to give you full attention. And I can tell you right now, when it comes to offer to purchase, they will rather stop doing whatever that they're doing to give you the attention that you deserve. Okay, so this is the seriousness of this point. Hence, I am stressing this point. It might sound pretty vague, simple, but it is important. Okay, so let's move on. On the seller side, in South Africa, we work undisclosed dual agency in respecting buyers and sellers. Technically, we represent the seller and his best interest, but with due regard to the fairness and protection of the purchaser. Generally, agents do not say anything to purchasers who usually think that the agent is working for them. Okay, as we are legally representing the seller because he has given us a mandate to sell his property. He is the principal. Okay, we need to ensure that the seller knows we are on his side. Avoid a situation of which you and your buyer appearing to be against the seller. So you must avoid that with all cost. I have seen agents that will come with the buyer, and you may find that the buyer is possibly the relative of the agent, or the friend of the agent, or husband of the agent, or wife of the agent. You know what I'm saying? So, in that manner, you need to avoid that as much as you can. You don't want the seller to think that you are favoring the buyers. Hence, you are there to convince them to reduce the price, because that happens most of the times when the agent is connected or have some anything to do with the buyer. If they are related, the agent will want to do favors or help the purchaser to get the lowest amount of money in terms of buying that property. Remember, these people, they are both your bosses. The buyer is also the boss. The seller is also the boss. But legally, your principal is the seller because you signed what? A mandate with. But let me make you aware, the buyer is also your boss. Why? Because the payment is from the boss. That is the buyer. The buyer pays for the property, and the money of the property, that's where your commission is. So who's really paying you? It's not the seller, it's the buyer. But of course, the money will come from the lawyers. I already explained to you this earlier, just for the benefit of somebody maybe who did not hear this. When the purchaser pays money, it goes into our lawyer's account, and then our lawyers are the one who will be paying the house owner, that is the seller. And if maybe that house, it was owing, there is a balance that needs to be paid to the bank, then the lawyers will pay the bank. If there is any other debt, like water, for example, The lawyers will pay water or municipalities, whatever. Kusibukeng ke a tseba ba sebedisa masakane. You know, masakane must be paid before the owner receive his money, all the debts of that property. Why? Because you cannot buy a property as a buyer and find that it has debts on it. So it is lawyers' duty or job to ensure that the property is on 0 0 when the new owner move inside. So there is no way that somebody or a person, a buyer, will buy a property and get into a property that is owing anything, electricity, water, whatever it may be. It is not possible and it may not happen. The only time that happens, it is on auction. Okay, it is only on auction. When you buy a property on auction, you buy it with its own problems. Do you understand? It is different from buying a property from an agent. Okay, from the auction side, it's a complete different story. I will educate and tell you more about houses that you can buy on auction very soon when you guys already have started. So far, our company, the way it is registered, we have not. I used to do auctions, but I cannot be able to do it now because the way our company is registered is only registered on selling. So we have not yet added the auction side of things. So that will come, but not anytime soon. We need to master this craft first and grow our company, then we can start looking at other things. Okay, so you guys have understood that. Okay, if you have a question around that, please, before we close today, I think I'm going to have a little bit more time with you because of yes, I came late, and sorry for that. I had to go and do the business. Okay, so let me repeat this to you quickly. As we are legally representing the seller because he has given us a mandate to sell his property, all right? He is the principal. We need to ensure that the seller knows we are on his side. So you have to ensure that the seller believe and know that you are on their side because they employed you as their agent. Okay, right. Avoid a situation of you and your buyer appearing to be against the seller. Avoid that with all cost. Okay, make sure it is you and the seller who are working together, trying to create the best possible solution which will bring about the sale of their home. Work in their best interest. All right, do not hard sell them or push too hard. If you do not work in the seller's best interest, you will lose the seller's confidence and they will think you are siding with the buyer. Okay? And your commission, then you do about what's happening here? Hold on. Looks like, oh, okay, we are back. Okay. Once the seller sees it is this way, all the sales or success techniques in the world won't help you. Once the seller suspect or see that you as an agent, you are siding with the buyer, there is nothing that will help you to regain their trust back. Once they decide and see that you are with the buyer, you're going to lose that business. And that is exactly what you don't want to do. All right. You don't want to see that happening to you. So surprise them. Controlling perceptions, the seller's perception of you, your service, the effort you have made to assist them in the sale of their home, and the offer you are about to present is a vital part of the closing process. All right. The seller's reaction to the offer you present is in direct proportion to their perception of what they are expecting you to bring to the table. Always surprise them. Find a way to represent more than you lead them to believe they would receive. Over delivery on any promises made wherever possible. It is much easier to close an offer when the seller is pleasantly surprised and feeling good about your proposal. It is extremely difficult to close the offer when they are disappointed with what you have. Set the stage to surprise them by indicating to them that you worked very hard to try and get the buyer up in his price. Make comments to the seller when you are making the point which indicates a lower offer. Ask them to have a drink before you arrive. Oh wow. Like, I mean, I'm actually laughing because in my mind, I'm thinking of a certain day when I was sitting with clients. I'm picturing what was happening while I'm busy reading here. Ladies and gentlemen, these things are going to take place and you will find yourself in this situation. So please remember these things and listen to the audios, listen to the videos, read the material that you have, to keep reminding yourself always and all the time. Even 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, this information is very vital. We're still going to have more trainings from other institutions, as I already have said yesterday. All right. But then the matter of the fact here is that when you present your offer, you need to ensure that you are in a good space and your clients are also in a good space. Okay. You need to be sure by doing all you can that they are in a good space. You don't want to upset your clients and tell them how hard you have worked. You did all the best you can in order to get the price where the buyer is by offering that amount of money. All right. So if maybe the house was 900,000, you were selling it for 900,000 and the offer is 850,000. You have to do the best you can to tell your buyers and say, look, I'm selling this house for 900,000, but please do the best you can and increase that amount to what? To 900. But if your lowest, you know that it is 850,000, it is fine. Ensure that you pass that message to your sellers. They need to understand, they need to know that you are doing the best you can, you have done the best you can. Okay, I seem to be having a challenge of a network right now. Let me see what I can do. Okay, sorry for that. So yeah, we were talking about how difficult it can be for a real estate agent after your client have noticed that you are citing or standing with the buyer instead of standing with them or citing with them. So once clients sees that or notice that, it's going to be very difficult for you as a real estate agent. So you must do the best you can not to show them that you actually have a favorite. Okay. Once that happens, it won't be easy for you to get that business. All right. Okay, let's continue from the bottom up. Start with the purchaser. For example, there are they are such a nice family. They love your home. So this is you now starting conversation with your sellers. Now the match has finished, or they now giving you their ears to listen to you, or they giving you the opportunity to start giving them the offer to purchase. All right. So this is you now starting with them. So this is what you are going to do. All right. You're going to start with the purchaser. For example, you tell them how the buyers are, the purchasers are. Okay. You're going to say they are such a nice family. They love your home. They are very keen to purchase the home and do qualify. They have written out a check as part of the deposit to demonstrate their commitment and strong attention to own your home. Have the check deposit clipped to the front of your presentation folder. Okay. Start explaining the offer by covering the minor points as well as any items the purchaser is requesting to remain with the property. Get green light thinking going. All right. Move towards the offer and deal with any negative points such as low occupational rental, explaining the reason and how you have compensated for this. All right. The purchaser may be requesting the bar stool and the bar fixture or particular curtains. This must be dealt with and agreed on before handing the seller the contract. All right. So, what we're simply saying here is that, let's say maybe the purchaser is here to buy the property, and there is one or two things that they love. Like, for example, maybe that house you are selling, it has beautiful curtains, or it has beautiful uh, chairs, or something, anything that they may like. Okay. Before you hand over the contract, before you give them offer to purchase, you need to ensure that you tell them before they sign, before you even present it, so that you hear from them what do they think, how do they feel about it. Okay. If they agree, then they will agree. And in most times, sellers, they do agree when a client requests for something in the house. Do you understand? They normally agree, but then others, they may say, okay, tell the buyer to give me so much money, but this is half amount of whatever they want to achieve or want to buy. All right. Your chances of obtaining these concessions or overcoming these minor items at this point in time are very high. The seller is probably anxious or maybe a little nervous. Of more importance, and their main concern is the price they are getting. You may say everything you want to say to your client before you tell them the amount. They may not even pay attention to some of the things that you may say, but they are anxious. They just want to hear how much is the buyer buying the house for. All right. They will probably have you pass this request as the tension builds. Some people cannot contain themselves and will suddenly say, okay, what is the offer? Or give me the offer. All right, that is the seller talking. At this stage, hand the seller the offer. You have probably pushed it little bit too far, so now is the time to keep quiet. Wait for the seller to react or say something. You cannot avoid the tension. Go to school on it. Watch the signs of tension, anxiety, delight, or anger. The sellers will talk to you with their body. Expect any reaction and don't be intimidated by what they do. All right. So, whatever that they're going to do, just don't be intimidated. Just hand over the offer to purchase, let them open it. If they get happy, they will be happy. If they will be sad, let them be sad. Give it to them, they will open it, they will just go straight to the price. They will just go straight to the price. And then if they're happy with the price that you are offering, then you know, like, your process already have started. Okay, because definitely they're going to sign that offer to purchase, and then the process of selling the property will start. Once you have sent or submitted that offer to purchase to the office. Okay, so now the question is, how will the seller know if you have done a good job? How will the seller know if you have done a good job? Another or a different approach is to prepare a comparative market analysis. Comparative market analysis is it's a CMA. CMA, it is the computer system I was talking about earlier on, that you're going to get access to it when you do valuations for properties. So that's where you're going to print out information of a property before you go and meet with your client. Like today's meeting that I went to attend today, it was about the it was about valuation of that property. So you go there, take a look at the property, take some notes, look at the conditions, positions, and everything that way you have been taught about. You look at all those things, and then the owner will most definitely ask you a question: how much do you think you can sell my property for? So what I did is I said, I will get back to you. I have to go down and uh, do my work properly and do justice to your property that it deserves. It deserves justice. This is a nice, beautiful property. Let me not give you an answer in a hurry. She couldn't even want to let me go. You know, just a face value. So they always curious, wanting to hear the price. But then do your work properly. You have to do your researches before you answer that question. When you are done doing your work perfectly, then that's when you can give an answer to that. All right, that's when you can give an answer to that. Ladies and gents, we only have 2 minutes with Teams. Teams, may I please stop this call, and then I will send you link so that we may be able to proceed, because we honestly have only 1 minute left with you guys. Only 1 minute. I just need to do justice to this. Today we had quite a few challenges. All right, I will send you link now. Okay, it seems like everybody is now back. We can continue now. All right. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming back once again. Yes, I was explaining to you what is a CMA. CMA is a computer system that you guys going to use to do property report. Property report, you're going to make use of it before going to meet with your client, that is the seller. Why? Because you need to do research about that property you are going to sell, so that when the client will ask you questions about their home that they want to sell, you will have answers. And this property report I am talking about, this is the report that will give you all the facts or reasons or information that a client needs to hear about. Okay, so it is important that you know what CMA is. So CMA stand for comparative market analysis. Comparative market analysis. So that is a CMA. Remember, when we talk about offer to purchase, we normally say OTP. So this is a shortened, this is abbreviation for comparative market analysis. So when I talk about CMA, just remember that I'm talking about a platform that you going to use, a computer system. Okay, so market analysis you're going to use to update the seller's home in comparison to the latest developments in the market. Ask the sellers how they will judge your efforts and assess any offer you present them. Before presenting your offer, explain to the sellers that you have prepared the latest information in the market in relating in relation to what similar homes to their home. So you tell them that you have information, like latest information, okay, latest information from the market that looks exactly like their home. Like, let's say for an example, you are selling a two-bedroom house. This client says, please come and evaluate my house, and it's a two-bedroom house. You cannot get information from the market of three-bedroom house and four-bedroom house. You need to get information or history of houses that have been sold, the two-bedroom house of the same location, you know what I'm saying, and the current houses that are on the market that looks similar or look identical to this one you are going to sell, plus CMA that give direct information about the house you are going to sell. Guys, I hope I'm making sense to you, eh? I hope I am making sense to you. I just lost WhatsApp now. Ish network today, guys, it's not so good at all. Okay, it seems as if they are now back. All right. So let's continue. Before presenting your offer, explain to the seller that you have prepared the latest information in the market in relation to that similar homes to their home are selling for at this point in time. Point to the houses sold section and explain what the market has been doing. The CMA indicates that the top price for a similar home recently sold will be 790,000, meaning that no other similar homes have been sold for more than that price. So if, for example, your owner or your seller says to you, okay, I want to see what you are talking about, then you show them this information that look, the report shows 20 houses or that have been sold recently in your area, and the price range is this is the price that the house has been sold. Because you know, most of the times the sellers look at the price that the house have been advertised with, and that is not the truth of how much is the house have been sold. So your duty is to ensure that your sellers, the house owners, they know how much the houses have been sold for. Hence, you need to bring proof and put it on the table and say, you see, this house you are telling me that it belongs to your friend and they sold it for 900,000. That is not the truth. It was advertised on the Property 24 for 900,000, but it was not sold for that amount because buyers are negotiators. They always negotiate. The house was advertised for 900,000 and the house was only bought or sold for 850. So in your mind, what you need is 900,000 for your house. And in actual fact, the house you are saying it has been sold for this much, it is not true. Here is the proof. You put the proof on front of them because you're going to meet this that the client will say, my house is better than the next door neighbor's house, and they sold their house for 850, and mine is more expensive than theirs, so I want 900,000. You see how do they come up with prices for their homes? And at some point, when you look at it, you see that it makes sense. Do you understand? It honestly does make sense, but you need to educate them. You need to take this responsibility to explain it nicely to your client, especially if they give you address of that client. You might as well do CMA for it. You might as well do what a property report for that house and show them and say, no, look, you are saying your neighbor sold their house for 900,000, but the actual fact is here's the price. You see how the sellers can get the prices wrong of selling their homes. They look at the prices that are on the market. All right, I think you guys have understood that. All right, explain to the seller that you want him to know what you present the offer, whether you have done a good job for him. Explain that you have worked very hard on the buyer to get his absolute best price, and that you are promised the buyer if he gave his best price, you would not go back to him. You understand? So your sellers need to understand that guys, I tried the level best I can to get the buyers to give me more money or high amount than the one they gave me. So they told me that they wish they can give more, but the bank qualified them for 850,000. That is why they are offering 850,000, and they don't have more money from anywhere else that they can actually top up with. Then it will be now from the sellers to decide if they want to sign offer to purchase or not. All right. Then you present your offer. You give it to the seller, they take a look at it, and then they will tell you if they are happy or if they're not happy with it. So now, let's say your seller is not happy, he's upset. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to deal with it? Handling the upset seller. How are you going to deal with it? If the seller is upset with the price the purchaser has offered, try this approach. Don't be insulted by the offer. Be insulted by all those people who came through your home whilst you made every effort to keep it looking so nice and did not make you an offer. Do you understand that? Remember, you advertised this property for 900,000, right? You advertise the property for 900,000, and there is people that came to see this house, but they did not give you an offer. So now your conversation between the seller, when the seller is unhappy, say to the seller, please don't be upset. Rather, be upset to people that came to see your property and they did not give an offer. At least these ones, they are giving us 850,000 rand instead of 900,000 rand. At least they show interest and they already have informed me or told me that they like this property. They want this property. Do you understand? This couple have given us an offer. Let's thank them for that because it is the first step in the negotiation process. It's a first step. So once somebody give you a smaller amount when you sell whatever you sell to them, if they give you an offer and say, look, I can only give you this much for whatever you are selling, that opens for no for negotiations. Now you can see this person has interest on buying a product that you are selling. You understand? Okay, let's see what we can do to negotiate with them and get them up in their price. Then, if let's say, for example, you have received 850,000 from the buyers, and now you went to present this offer to the sellers, and the sellers are not happy, tell the sellers that, okay, fine, let me go back once again to the buyers and try to talk to them to up their price. Then you can um, leave, go to the buyers and have a chat with them about the situation and explain to them and say, guys, look, I have. All right. Okay, awesome. All right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Let's start with today's work. So, yeah, look, at least we are live on Zoom, WhatsApp, and Teams. plus this is recorded as well. So re qaling ka re qetetse chapter mang mabane chapter 9 ne. Okay, re qetetse chapter 9. Let me see. Okay, so now let's look at the commission cutting. There is something called commission cutting, right? Commission cutting in South Africa has reached epidemic proportions. The trend on commissions moving forward in the industry is downward. Many factors contribute to this. However, commission cutting is getting out of hand and it's hurting sellers, buyers, selling and listing agents, as well as brokers. All right. So, who cuts the commission? It is just about everybody or everyone. Most are forced, some choose. Um, Sometimes I choose to cut my commission if I want to sell a property and I see gore motho o shota ka tšhelete e nyenyana, maybe o shota ka boma 10,000 rand or 15,000 rand. I don't mind um, to cut my commission for a client of that nature. Okay, that one first, especially um, o bona gore wa tseba keng, these people they really need this property, and you look at your commission, maybe your commission is 70, 80, 85,000 rand. Don't mind to cut your commission by choice and ensure that you know that particular person o mo thusang hore I actually cut my commission for you. Well, understand, I have done that to somebody some time ago, and then ka be ke re ko yena, look, I will do this for you and you don't have to pay me. After a couple of months, that particular person se about him, he gave me a call and say, can we please meet for lunch? I said, okay, that's fine. And then we met for lunch. And then to my surprise, he did not even tell me that he's going to pay me back. He was happy as heaven. I nearly said the other way, the other word. He was happy as heaven, right? I was happy for him, and I tried to insist. I said, no, look, like, I mean, I genuinely wanted to help you because um, this was your first home or house to buy. So I genuinely wanted to help you. I saw how you were struggling and you wanted that property. I know the joy of buying a property, right? I don't know, no. I hear you and I understand it. I respect you for what you have done for me and my family. We sat and spoke about this issue with my wife for quite some time. We've been budgeting chelete khanyane khanyane just for you to get your commission back. You really sacrificed. I fully respect you for what you have done for us, and yeah, he insisted, like, I mean, money is money, and I received the money. So why am I telling you about this? So that you will do the same to your people as well. It doesn't only happen to buyers, it also happens to sellers elsewhere. You will meet a seller and the seller will tell you that, okay, please, I want you to sell my house, get me a purchaser, but your commission is too high, right? So if the client will say, "Yeah, the commission is too high," yeah, well, you'll have to talk and discuss about it. I know this, we have spoken about it in details, like I think it was second or third chapter. You can reduce your commission, but don't reduce it too much, because Rona, our commission is 7.5. We charge our client 7.5 for all the properties that we sell. It's 7.5. If a client doesn't really care much about the percentage that you charge, you just go ahead without wanting to give that client discount. You want to get your 7.5. All right, because that 7.5, um ka hopola ebile letsatsi la teng, like, I wanted to do calculations here live, and my calculator iketsetsa tsa yona fela. But what you simply do is 7.5, we deduct from the initial initial amount, like from the total amount of the property. Do you understand? So if ntlo e le 1 million, for example, o tlo nka from 1 million eo, you minus your 7.5 from it. You understand? Then 7.5 eno ke teng mo wena o tlo kry-ang your 75%, and then company will remain with only 25%. Do you understand? So that is how we calculate your salary. So if you want to reduce your salary with your clients, maybe client, yeah, no, but 7.5 is too much. Please give me 6.5. Then you can go to 6.5 with no issues. It's fine. You understand? And then if client says no, 6.5 is still too much, you can go down to 6%. All right. But then just be very careful. Don't go fatty too much, because the more unto ya go fatty, client will take advantage up until you get to 4%. And I personally I haven't sold a property for 4%. I have sold few properties with 5%, but it was very tough. It was not so easy. I honestly don't like 5%, but I have done it. You have to negotiate for your money, you know. So especially, like, with time, ha o ntso hola in the industry, you will start to have value. You will start to understand the ins and outs of the game, and you will start to feel, "Oh, yeah, no, you know what, I have arrived. I cannot go down. I'm one of the best agents in town, so why must I sell myself cheap?" But then leading, just be very, even if after 4 or 5 years you can still go to 5%, there's nothing wrong with it. um, I always say half of bread is better than nothing you know so yeah, just be careful of that. Don't go down too much. All right. Okay, let's not waste time about commission issue. We have dealt with that. O tla sheba video tsele tsa pele tse re qadileng ka tsona tsele, like, chapter 1, 2, and 3, somewhere there. All right. So then the other person, I said, you as an agent, you can cut your own commission for many different reasons, right? And then the seller can negotiate with you and cut your commission. The buyer as well. From the buyer, you don't have to cut. You are not really forced to cut it. If only you feel like you want to help. And wabona hore batho ba, they really need this house, and you want to get rid of that house as well. There are other houses still pretty gray or utolor, like, they're not in a good location. The condition of the property is not so well. You've been having that property for quite some time, so therefore, um, if you don't help those guys get 10 or 15 or 20,000 rent from your amount, you see how like you might end up not getting anything out of it. Do you understand? So yeah, literally almost everybody can cut commission. But there is the question is why? The question is why cut commission? Yeah. It is because of the weakness and desperation. Some people get to be desperate, wanting to sell the property as quick as possible, and it can also be on the other side as well. As I have mentioned, you might be helping somebody who is desperate. You understand? So the other reason, as I said, it also can be a weakness. Ke taba ya hore somebody might take advantage ka wena ara no, this one is a new agent, so ke tlo vele ke mshashaye quickly, and then anrekisetse ntlo ya ka ke khathile commission ya hae. What does she know or what does he know about selling properties? You understand? Some they can actually take advantage of you, or some it may be because of mentally they are stronger than you, or you might be intimidated by somebody who is very educated. Wabona what this person is loaded, financially, and when they look at you, they say, ah, ebilane o sebedisitse le taxi ha tla mo monna mo, so o tseba eng ka 85,000 rand as commission. You understand? Motho ha o shaye-shaye le wena o bo dumela, that's a part of weakness, but with time, you guys will get to grow in the industry and you will know how to talk and discuss or negotiate for your commission. You need to know your story when it comes to commission cutting or commission discussion with your client. All right. I think I will have to do a video as well. My office needs to remind me about this. Please remind me, guys. I have to do a video about the commission cutting or negotiations. It's a commission. It's going to be a very lengthy uh, video. All right. Please, my office remind me about that. Okay, and the other thing, agent has no confidence in themselves. So if you don't have confidence in yourself, then it will be easy for a client to take advantage on you or about you on that regard. Okay, agent doesn't have powerful sales skills. You might meet a client that is very strong or have experience ya sales, or maybe motho ke negotiator, good in communication, but ba ba buang English too much ba, like wa itse keng a bua English ele ya England, you know and please consider selling my property for 4%. I have five agents that want to sell my property for 5%. So I want you to be the one to sell my property, but I will allow you or give you 4% and sell my property. So you will take such deals sometimes, but I don't encourage you to do that. At the end of the day, this is your money. So if you also towile wa towa, then you need to inform them and say, you know what, our office is actually not going to be happy with me to go down less than 5.5%. So our standard rate is 7.5, to some areas it's 10%, and it's for real. Some other agencies, like, they do 10%. You understand? So 10% is a lot of money. Like, if you think about it, you know, 7.5, it's still a lot of money, So especially when it comes to industrial and wholesaler, industrial, sorry, the commercial. like body warehouses and whatnot and so forth. Um, Commissioner thing it's quite high. Imagine having to sell a farm that maybe it's about 60 million or 90 million, or a building that is worth 120 million, and now Churchill 7.5%. That is crazy. Like, I mean, Charlotte Mole, it will be millions. Imagine having to get, like, I mean, 2.5 as commission, 2.5 million as commission, and other agents do get that money, you know. So, but in industrial or commercial, normally they do 5% to 4%, because, like, I mean, 4%, yeah, just you can calculate after the meeting, or how much is 4% of 120 million. One, it's a huge amount of money. So yeah, that is that. And agent takes path of least resistance. Agent takes path of least resistance. So you need to be strong, guys. Like, I mean, in this industry, you need to know your story, and you need to tell your clients that, look, I actually have a mandate with my company. I have an agreement with my company. This commission I am going to get here, I have no option but to purchase a vehicle with it, and I have signed for it. And I'm looking to buy at least a vehicle of 55 to 60 million. I mean, 60. Oh my word. 55 to 60,000. So my commission here, it was supposed to be 85,000, and I'm honestly willing to go down and give you discount, but at least it must not be less than 65,000 rand. Then a client will be happy and say, oh, shame. Okay, I hear you. Okay, it's fine. Let's keep it as it is. Or at least let's make it 80,000. Now, one clients like Leona, when you start to explain your story or be honest to your client, try as much as you can to be free and honest to your client. If your first client is pulling that trick to you, think quickly and positively and say, you know what, you are actually my first and special client. So I want to do something important with that commission that I'm going to get here, and my intention is to get a vehicle. Whatever, like a client who will say, oh, okay, then let's strike a deal. I will give you 25,000 rand, and then I will give you my car. I will give you my car, you know, and you might get yourself a nice, beautiful car, like, I mean, from some clients, when they think of, when you put your story or forward to them. I'm not saying go and beg for cars to your clients. Okay, you have to buy a vehicle for yourself, by yourself. Please don't beg to your clients. Okay, but everything is possible, you know. But you cannot just give up your commission and get 20,000 or 25,000 vehicle, because, like, we have to follow rules and procedures as well as the company. You definitely need to get some money into the company, and then you get paid by the company. All right. Okay, so many agents are cutting, experienced or not, and there are many reasons for this. Cutting commission is normally born out of desperation. Normally, it's born out of desperation. Okay, so let's talk about types of agents who cut commission. Agents who cut commission. All right. We have only four different kinds of agents that cut commission. Um, Financially strapped, number one. Number two, use cutting commission to close the deal. Bakata commission because they want to close the deal. Number three, ego, can't stand to lose at any cost. It's because of ego. They cannot stand to lose at any cost. And lastly, is agents that are very kind. They want to give their money away. I fell into that. I must admit, as I said earlier on, because of your kindness, you can cut your commission. All right. So those those are four types of agents that cut commission. Okay. So now, desperate financially is the most difficult. All right. There is nothing harder on a person's confidence, self esteem, and ego than being in a tough financial position. If you have a serious issue, you know that at home we don't even have food, or you desperately need to pay your debts. It is almost month end and it's the second month you don't have income. You end up saying yes to everything. Do you understand? Unfortunately, most agents entering this industry find themselves in this position as they manage moving to a commission based income with a time lag on being paid while the sales is in the process of being transferred. So some people came into real estate because they lost their job. So now they find themselves working for a real estate agency that is going to pay them with commission. They end up agreeing for that matter because they have debts or things to pay at the end of the day. But mostly is desperation. All right. These agents are forced to buy the half of loaf of bread is better than one. Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier on. Okay, attitude until they find their feet. Unfortunately, with this attitude, you will certainly not survive in this business on half the commission. So you can do something of this nature maybe once or twice, but let it not be something that you will do always. Because if you will do that, I'm telling you, all your clients will want to get commission cut from you. Remember when we were talking in details about commission earlier on? We even said, like, people talk out there. What will actually happen is that you're going to give somebody discount on commission, and what will happen, that very same person will tell someone else and say, hey, you know what, if you want somebody to sell your property, call Edward. If you call Edward now, he's going to give you discount. Do you understand? And the very same person that is referred to you, he will tell someone else. Now you find all clients or everybody in your locacy, they are all saying, please give me a discount. And how are you going to handle that or deal with that? So you need to be very careful. And when you talk to your client and give them the commission cut, tell them that please don't tell anybody about this. It has to be between you and me. Don't tell anyone else about this commission cut or discount that I gave to you. So you need to ensure that you do that, because if you don't, you will never make good money out of this. Guys, can you please take a snapshot? um, Zoom is up and running. Guys, on Zoom, Teams, and WhatsApp, please take a snapshot and send it to us so that we can be able to do our register. It is actually a lot more easier when you do that, but then it also helped me when I call your name. When I call your name, it makes my life a lot more easy as well, because this is on record. I just only go and on record where I'm busy calling your name, and then we can tick your names. So yeah, please just remember to take screenshot and forward it to our inbox. All right. So um, when we talk about desperate people financially, those are people, um, four types of people we're talking about. Okay. So um, when that happens, let me tell you the other effects when that happens, when you desperate financially. All right, when you are desperate financially, point number one, you going to lose confidence and your self-esteem slides. Do you understand? And secondly, you will feel like a failure. Thirdly, you will feel like you made a wrong decision or you made a bad decision. Do you understand? So you might give that commission cut or cut your commission for that reason, but then you might feel small out of immediately after that. All right. Um, Teams, if we might lose you guys right now or any moment from now, this is on record. You won't lose anything, information that you won't get today. You will most definitely get it on record. So please don't feel otherwise when this happen. There is something we're busy working on. We're going to have our own platform where everybody is going to be, instead of having all these different platforms. Because for me, to be able to do this, it's quite a big sacrifice. I have to use my laptop, my phone. Now I'm sitting on front of four screens just for you guys to get this information. So I honestly had to sacrifice to get everybody on board at the same time. All right. So I love you with Maruping Properties love. If I happen to lose teams any moment from now. Okay, so we're still talking about commission cut. All right, and then we said some people, they going to cut their commission because they want to close the deal. Okay, and the non-competitive agents cut commissions because the competition they are facing is too tough. You might be having maybe two or three agents that want to sell the very same property. As I said earlier on, that the owner might actually play with your mind and tell you that there is four agents that came and they all want to sell my property. So what makes you unique? Why must I give you my property to sell when there is other four people that want to sell? And they're giving me 5%, all of them, and you are saying 7.5. So for me to choose you, then I might as well give you 4%. Then I will have a good reason why. do I have to give you that property? Do you understand? And it makes sense if you think about it. But guys, you will grow and be clever. Okay. So now, what is the solution? What is the solution to that? Point number one, build sales skills and personal strength. Okay. Number two, improve your listing presentation. Number three, give good or better services. When you know that you give good quality services that I always sing about, it will be very easy for you to say, look, this is my work, this is how I work, and all my clients are happy, and here's the proof. I have many happy letters from all my clients. So you also going to be happy, unlike if you will go to those agents that will give you a cheap or low commission. They may not do the best work as I am going to do. You understand? So now, said wena jaanong, like I also rekisitse dintlo, so na le experience nyana, it's easy, like I mean, to put information on top of the table and say, look, all my clients are happy, and you will definitely be one of them. O bua ka ntho e le horeng ke eo na le yona, like I mean, those testimonials from your happy clients, those pictures that I always tell you to take when you do the handover keys, you know, when your clients going to move into the property, take videos, take pictures, make them sign while they are still happy, because 3, 4, 5 months down the line they might be unhappy clients, and they will definitely get back to you. Do you understand? So now, I said build sales skills and personal strength, improve your listing presentation, give good and better service, and build a strong, effective service orientated presentation. You understand? So that is the solution. That is the solution. Okay. So some people cut commission due to ego. Some agents cut commission due to ego. These agents cannot stand to lose out and cut commissions to appear successful in the community by building inventory. Do you understand? So, ego agents are more concerned about how they feel rather than how the customer feel. Do you understand that? So, what is the solution for those agents? Ego agents need to shift the emphasis in conversations from themselves to the seller by remembering that the seller is more important in the transaction in this transaction than they are. Do you understand now? So that is the solution. And when you cut your commissions, like I mean, more often, you don't. Yes, you may get money, you may get commission, you may say half of bread is better than nothing, but it must not be habit, good people. It must not be a habit. Okay. So nobody wins cutting commission. Nobody wins. You lose your commission. We also, as the company, lose on the very same commission. You know, nobody wins. Agents lose because they tend to show and promote homes where they are able to earn their fee. Secondly, the seller loses because the agent who cuts the commission was weak in the first place and probably less competent to obtain or negotiate the best price. Right? So, there are many ways of cutting commission. Let's say, for example, you are selling a property of 1 million. So if you agreed with the seller that you're going to sell that property for 1 million rand, agent and the seller agrees. And here comes the buyer, and the buyer says, no, I cannot be able to do what? To sell. I cannot be able to buy this property for 1 million. I only have I only have 950,000. If you give that discount to the buyer, automatically your commission also starts to go down. Do you understand that? Your commission automatically go down. You see? So it's important not to cut your commission most of the times. Here and there it is okay and acceptable, and I already have given you the strategy of going down with commission cut or negotiations with the buyers or with the sellers, because commission cut can come from either way. You can cut it yourself, seller, and the buyer can also help you cut your commission. You understand? So what we're going to do is we will do a video, a very lengthy video about, we will talk about the strategies that you can use in terms of obtaining or retaining your commissions. All right. So, yeah. So the seller loses because the agent who cuts the commission was weak in the first place. So you don't want your client as the seller to say, "Aish, my agent was weak. They cannot be able um, to negotiate and um, give me the amount of money I expected." Because remember, everything, it is all on your shoulder as the agent. You have to be confident. You must have self-esteem. You need to be motivated. You have to develop that skill of selling and selling with a good price. Do you understand? Okay, now let's look at buyers. Buyers lose because they may not see the home that could be right for them. Do you understand? So I gave you, like, three different scenarios. When the agent loses, how the agent lose the commission, and how the seller loses, and how the buyer loses in terms of getting the amount that they want. Okay, so it is critical to remember that when buyers and sellers lose in any real estate transaction, everybody loses. All right, everybody loses. So, ladies and gents, let me give you 5 reasons why sellers want a reduced commission. Why sellers want a reduced commission. Number one, they want a deal. A certain percentage of people will simply want a deal. They look for a deal in everything they do. So this is one of the reasons why sellers, they want you as an agent to reduce your commission. People by nature, they want to negotiate. They like to negotiate. they enjoy reducing. They don't want to buy anything with the initial price. I mean, you know yourself as well that when you go to Joburg or when you go to town, you meet these guys who are selling things or stuff on the road. And what happens is that you always negotiate. Whether you want to buy a cap, you negotiate. They they are selling sunglasses, you negotiate. They are selling every single thing that you see on the road, even food. Some guys are selling mangoes or avocados on the road. People by nature they like to negotiate. Do you understand? So when that happens, when your seller negotiate with you right from the onset, and you end up agreeing on the percentage, make them aware that you know what, we also going to face the very same situation whereby we're going to get a buyer that will want to buy your property, and we will have to negotiate or reduce the amount. So in that case, it can also work for you when your client come. Maybe that house it was not easy to sell, so therefore it was not easy to sell, and here is the client that give you an offer but they give you less amount. What happened at the beginning, you can also use it against the seller and say, look, you and I spoke and agreed, and I agreed to reduce my commission. And here is the serious buyer. I've been trying to sell your property for the past 5 months, and nobody is interested because the price probably is a little bit high, or is it because of the location? And you say, look, let's take this advantage, or let's take this offer, and let's consider giving this particular person reduction on the purchasing price. You understand? So the client will think about it and say, well, I think you are right. You agreed to me and you gave me discount, so why not do it to the next person? And then that's how you can be able to close that deal as well. All right. So they see the agent is weak. That's point number two. We are talking about 5 reasons why sellers want a reduced commission. Number two, when they see the agent is weak and they doubt the agent's confidence. So when you are with your client, please ensure that they see confidence in you. But once they start to doubt your confidence, then they will start to see weakness in you as what? As a real estate agent. You understand? So this puts the seller in control. And you don't want your seller to be in control. You, as an agent, must be in control. Remember, we spoke about the control on the past 2 chapters, that as a real estate agent, you must take control. You must be in control. And I told you how to take control or be in control when you are with the buyer or the seller. And if you are a very knowledgeable person, this will honestly help you. When you know what you're doing, this will most definitely help you. Do you understand? Now, the other reason is desperate financial positions. Desperate financial position usually want more money than the house is worth to settle numerous debts and expect the agent to reduce the commission to achieve the highest net price possible. Ladies and gents, you going to meet with this all the time. The seller will say to you, I have to pay municipality, I owe water, I owe this, I owe the house, I owe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids school. They will mention every problem. that is found under the sun, just for you to understand and reduce the commission. Do you understand? They will do all they can to get you to go down or reduce your commission. Okay. And then the other reason is amount of total commission is excessive. The amount of total commission is excessive. This applies to the high-end market exceeding 2 million rand, where the seller can't understand how anyone could be paid an amount exceeding 100,000 to do a job of selling a property. You understand? Just imagine you selling like a house of 2 million rand and you get yourself 100,000 rand. Some clients don't understand that. They just don't understand it. You see? All right. Then the other point is the seller will look carefully at what the agent says to justify paying this commission. So if you are knowledgeable, you know your story, you are professional, clients will be happy to give you that amount of money that you need or require. Some they actually look at you, ba itse like motho a utlwe fela a o nyatse fela, a utlwe o nyatsitse fela ba re, I'm going to give you 50,000. 7.5 like 7.5 like it's 85,000 or 95,000. No, that's too much. I'm going to give you 50,000. And o bone motho wa teng a ba serious. A ba re ha o sa batle ho tlohela, I will get someone else to sell my property. Do you understand? So it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that you get yourself ready. You know, this is actually a motivation to you. You understand? This is a good motivation to you. You know, at the beginning, it's not going to be easy. It will probably be tough, but it is possible. It is possible. You can get 7.5 from your first deals. Like a few of our agents that are still in training right now, they we sealed the deals, but I went with them to go and seal the deals, and none of those clients asked for reducing the commission. None of them. Do you understand? So when that amount comes, like that those agents, they will be in a position to buy themselves cars cash and have money to go and do driver's license and have more money still to maintain or to help them push for a couple of months until they get other houses. You understand? So you just need to be very wise when it comes to these discussions with your clients. All right. Okay. So the other reason is that the seller will look carefully at what the agent says to justify paying this commission. Okay, I already have mentioned that. The other reason is working the high end market requires great sales skills and the ability to handle objections. You know, some people can't take objections. So you need to have skill. Guys, please, I honestly urge you to develop a skill of negotiating right from the onset. You know, right from the onset, just focus on that. Be a good salespeople. I know some of you here, like have a skill of selling. Most of you have that. Some of you have worked in call centers. At least this thing you do have it in you. You understand? So it will be easy for you to be able to negotiate or discuss or little kgona shapa shapa your clients to give you 7.5. Okay. Then the other reason is that the seller has an agent who will list for less commission. This is the most common objection, which usually catches the agent off guard. Often the seller is just testing the waters. So some clients will just test waters with you and tell you that no, 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 no. Look, if you don't want to give me the reduction on your commission, I will get someone else. I will advertise my property very cheap. If you don't want to give me what I want, I'm sorry. I'll get someone who can. You're too high or too expensive for me. Do you understand? You see the reason why you need to have a skill for negotiating. But um, with time, you will be able to know. We will give you all the strategies that we have that we know, and you also need to come up with your own strategies as well. You know, so those are five. Actually, it's more than five. Eh? I gave you 7 reasons why sellers want to reduce your commission as an agent. I gave you 7. Okay, that is all good. Now, let's look at 10 solutions to cutting commissions. We've been talking about the problems and whatnot and the reasons, so now we need to look at the solutions. We have 10 solutions to cutting commissions. All right. Number one, become better business people. Become better business people. Instead of good real estate agent, make decisions based on facts and reality instead of emotions. You see? Number two, offer a high level of quality and service. Offer a high level of quality and service. Focus on doing the best possible job for the seller. Give a strong and efficient presentation which demonstrates how to get the house sold for the highest price. Number three, give service and make a profit. Give service and make a profit. The purpose of business is to give service and make profit. Sellers understand that you have the right to be paid for the service you extended. Build value by performing the service the seller wants. If you can master that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you will go very far and very quickly. That is why, like, I mean, we decided that we're going to give you this intense training before you hit the streets. So you go to the streets having information, knowledge, insight, wisdom, everything that is needed for you to be on the streets to start this work. When I started years ago, I did not have this information, but I had to go with no information. What I only knew is that I have to go to Facebook and look for clients. I have to look for old stock or expired listings from Property 20, for or private property and whatnot and so forth, and look for clients that advertised all by themselves, either on private property or P24 or on Facebook. Do you understand? Do you understand? So it is important that you have this knowledge. Hence, I we told ourselves that, you know what, we're going to give our agents good quality knowledge or training so that they will perform best and do good. And this will be a good reason for you when you go out there to talk and meet with your clients. You will know exactly what to talk about and what to say when you talk to your clients. Do you understand? So this info is very expensive, ladies and gents, because it's going to help you to grow very quickly in the industry. All right. Now let's look at point number 4. Remember, we are talking about 10 solutions to cutting commission. 10 solutions to cutting commission. Point number 4. Be an expert at pre-qualifying before you list. Be an expert at pre-qualifying before you list, before you advertise. By pre-qualifying before the listing appointment, you discover the answers to where, when, why, what, and how. What commission do you charge? Often pops up in this process. All right. Point number 5. Develop a strong question orientated presentation. Develop a strong question orientated presentation. All right. Which is effectively orientated to service. By building and creating value, you define yourself as a professional, eliminating the competition and the question of cutting commission. Okay? Point number 5. Outsmart the seller. Outsmart the seller. Be smart when you are with a seller. All right? Be smart. Sellers always have the same objections and are generally not smart enough to think of new ones. Sadly, agents are also not smart enough to think of the answers to the objections. I want you to cut the commission. That's the seller. Okay? The other agent said they would charge less. Why won't you? If other agents said yes, they will cut commission, why you don't cut commission or give me discount? Do you understand that? So what will happen is that because this, you going to do it again and again and again. First or the second client might win you and go down as much as they want. But now you're going to grow in the industry and you're going to meet many different clients whereby now your skills will develop and you will be good at answering questions because now this is something that you now do it daily. So what will happen is that you will expect to receive that question, cut your commission. So therefore, you will go there prepared, knowing what to say because you know that they're going to say that. Do you understand? So you also need to know how to resist at some point. I also give discount, but mainly when I give discount, I don't go less than 6.5 or 6%. I will say, okay, fine. I will give you, if the client says no, 7.5 is too much, I will say, okay, fine. I will reduce um, 0 0.5, I will give you 7%. The client will say, but 7% is still too much, Edward. Give me discount. I say, okay, fine. 6.5. You should be happy. 6.5 is very reasonable. You're going to save a lot of money. And the client will say, no, but still, it's still too much. Then you say, okay, fine. Lastly, last 6%. If I go down more than 6%, my company is going to be unhappy with me. And then the client will say, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. I'm happy with 6%. Let's go with 6%. Just make 6% at least like your lowest, but always negotiate for 7.5. If they don't negotiate, it's well and good. You go for 7.5. If they negotiate to go down with 0.5, if they say no, it's still, you go down with 1 or 1.5. Because if you're going to calculate and show them how much is 1.5, they definitely going to see that it's a lot of money. Okay, so you need to be smart as well as an agent, and you must be smarter than the seller. Okay, so point number 7, ask for the order. Ask for the order. In spite of what the seller is saying, most of the time the seller is simply giving you an objection to delay the process of signing the contract. The close is a natural ending to a good presentation. So you also need to be smart when it comes to closing the deals, ladies and gents. But that skill will automatically grow after selling the first, second to the third property. Okay. Number 8, don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. Guys, do you hear what I'm saying? I'm not the Bible, I don't contradict myself, right? I know I have said half of bread is better than nothing, but then you must have boundaries. When it comes to a point like now the client says, no, I still want less than 5%, you know what? Don't mind to say, okay, no, in that case, it's okay. Thank you so much. You can get somebody who can do um, a professional and good work for you for less than 5%. I'm sorry, I cannot be able to do that. And then from there, you move. Okay? Don't be afraid to walk away. Great agents have learned that walking away from the listing or sale, not you, only strengthens your personal resolve, but also saves you time and money. You are the person in charge. You are the person deciding what needs to be done. Look at the incredible number of expired mandates on the market at any point in time and why they expire. So, um, let me do an example for you. Ne? You get a client that is the seller. The seller says to you, come and sell my property. Okay, fine, you agree. I will sell your property for you, Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller. Now comes to the issue of commission discussion. And the client says, no, I will only give you 5%. And when you look at that 5% and you look at the amount of the house, and it is slightly over market value, ladies and gents, don't mind to walk away. And more especially clients that want to sell their houses very high over market price, they are the ones that enjoy negotiating a lot with agents. So you must be very careful when it comes to that. All right. So that's the reason why you find other houses, they are still in the market after 6 months. They're still in the market after 12 months. They're still in the market after 2 years. You see? So that is the reason. It's either the house it's not in good condition or bad location or the price is wrong. But most of the times it's price because the house might not have or be in good condition. But if the price is good, people will buy it irrespective of what. Okay. Um, point number is it 10? Is it 9 or 10? Prospect at a high level of intensity. Prospect at a high level of intensity. To dramatically increase your chances, if you are not prospecting for new business every day on a regular basis, you are governed by what the seller says. If you only have one presentation a month, you simply don't have any choice. So, talking about prospecting, ladies and gents, I hope you still remember what prospecting means. We spoke a lot about it on the early chapters. So you need to prospect. You need to go out and look for clients, one way or the other. If you're going to do that once in a while, you will get paid once in a while. But if you make appointments with many different people, you increase chances of receiving or getting many houses to sell. Do you understand that? Okay. The last point: practice, drill, and rehearse. Practice, drill, and rehearse. Go to seminars, learn the scripts and dialogues used by top producers in the industry. Shadow a superstar, employ a mentor or a coach. It's not easy to be able to do this all by yourself. You need to have a coach, or you need to have yourself a mentor, somebody that will tell you what to do, how to go about it, and support you. Okay. It is at offer stage that the seller gets another shot at your commission. It is easier to control your commission here than at the listing stage. You have what they want, an offer. Sellers want something from you, and that is an offer to purchase, right? Hold on to your fee. You have produced the result. Either get an acceptable or counter offer from them. all the pressure is on the seller. They have a 94% interest in the offer, and you have a 6% interest. All right. If they refuse the offer, they keep the home and you keep your listing. Leave the pressure where it ought to be. On the person with the 94% interest, depart if you have to. Go if you have to. They will probably call you in the morning. All right, ladies and gents, I think we have. Maroso says page A1. Waited to finish this chapter, guys. It's only one page left. Let's just finish, and the other guys will receive the link for this chapter. They will um, watch it later. Sorry for that to them, but let's just finish it so that tomorrow we start with a new chapter. Okay, so let's go to. Okay, buyers also put in offers just a commission away from the asking price. They anticipate that you may be called on to justify your commission with the seller. All right. So to eliminate this, list the property very close to market value, and the buyer cannot risk offering too low for fear of losing the property. All right. Fight for the buyer's best offer or the secret offer, and the seller runs the risk of losing out by not accepting it. Right, let's look at rule number 6. You will never win a commission battle unless you are willing to lose. You cannot need the money more than the buyer needs to buy, okay? Or the seller needs to sell. The moment you do, you lose. Remember, we also spoke about this as well. And you need to work with deadlines, guys. You have to work with deadlines. Understanding the power of using deadlines to close your offer is crucial to your success in negotiating. Purchasers often recommend you give the seller time to consider their offers. The question is, how much time? Take control and explain to the purchaser that time in the seller's hand gives him the power to attract other offers because of your offer. All right. So let's talk about the counter offer. The counter offer. Dealing with the counter offer is like handling the offer. So what I would like you to do is to follow these pointers. Ne? Point number 1, make sure you see the purchaser face to face. You still remember what is a counter offer, right? If maybe when the client, the buyer, the first buyer came and gave an offer of 850,000 for that property that you are selling, and then the second buyer comes and offer more, that's a counter offer. Okay, so make sure you see the purchaser face to face, the person who's going to buy that property. You have to meet and see them face to face. Do not phone if you are able to travel to him. If you are able to go to him, please don't phone. It is far too easy and comfortable for the purchaser to decline a counter offer over the phone. All right. Point number two, your approach should be positive in that you are the only person to have the seller's bottom line and commitment. Number three, reveal the offer and let him know the sellers have met him halfway and you worked really hard to achieve these results. Point number four, rationalize the price as being market related and fair to both parties. Okay. Point number five, reduce the difference to a daily amount that they will pay on their bond. For example, difference of 10,000, monthly repayment approximately will be 110, divide by 30 days. That will be like 366. So for an extra 366 per day, you may have your new home. That's 2 cigarettes a day or a can of Coca-Cola a day. Minimize the difference so that it sounds very trivial that they will be prepared to forfeit the home they really wanted for such a little amount. They also have you in their presence, someone who has worked very hard for them. How do they say to you that for an extra 360 per day, they are going to turn down the offer? You see? So the last point is that if you have to fax the details of the counter proposal to the purchaser or email it for that matter, give the breakdown in your written report as you did when you faxed your offer or emailed your offer. Ask the purchaser to phone you when he has read your email. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with chapter 9. So I will send yesterday and today's videos sometime midnight. So you will probably receive or get them first thing tomorrow morning when you wake up. All right, you can open your mic or unmute yourself and say good night to all of us. Homu, thank you for joining. I see you there. Ausin Twaki, thank you for joining. Victoria, thank you. Pretty, thank you so much for joining. Lireko, you must be happy today you had a Zoom link. So yeah. Oh, Mr. Stonwabo, sir, thank you for joining. Relebuhile, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. One of my favorite agents, that one from Pretoria. That deal, that 5.2 million, we still need to conclude. We still need to conclude that deal, man. Let's work on the other or alternative place. That guy wants to offer 3.5 million for that building. 3.5 is very small, and the owner did not agree on 3.5. So we need to work very hard and get him at least If he can give us 4.5 million for that building, then at least I will be happy. So yeah, he wants to give us like 3.5 million. It's too small. Even 4 million, yeah, the owner won't even accept it. So at least like 4.5 we can talk. So I'm going to send you the address for that building in Kempton Park. If you can go with him probably this weekend and show him that building, then we will take it from there. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, thank you, everybody. Some people I can't see your names here because. Good night, good night, good night. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.